Trump has many good qualities, and he accomplished some good things. But the fact of the matter is, he is a consummate narcissist, and he constantly engages in reckless conduct that puts his political followers at risk, and the conservative and Republican agenda at risk.
Would he put the country at risk if he was in the White House again?
He will always put his own interests and gratifying his own ego ahead of everything else, including the country's interests. There's no question about it. This is a perfect example of that. He's like a defiant 9-year-old kid who's always pushing the glass toward the edge of the table, defying his parents to stop him from doing it. It's a means of self-assertion and exerting his dominance over other people.
Yes, guys, welcome back to Inside the Daily Gist. We are back again like we never left. Welcome back, guys, and thank you. Yes, guys, you heard that right? That was Barr. That was Barr. We all know Barr. He worked under former President Trump. Yes, Barr. He said all of that. That was some months ago when he was questioned on a Face the Nation, and as at then, he was selling his book. Do not forget what I said. He was selling his book. That was why I'm gonna play you the rest of the clip on the Face the Nation. Actually, let me play you the rest of the clip. So you can have an idea what we about to talk about. Then we catch up on the other side. Listen to the rest of the clip, guys.
This is not a circumstance where he's the victim or this is government overreach. He provoked this whole problem himself. Yes, he's been the victim of unfair witch hunts in the past, but that doesn't obviate the fact that he's also a fundamentally flawed person who engages in reckless conduct and that leads to calamitous situations like this, which are very destructive and hurt any political cause he's associated with. And this was a case that entirely of his own making. He had no right to those documents. The government tried for over a year quietly and with respect to get them back, which was essential that they do. And he jerked them around. And he had no legal basis for keeping them. But beyond that, when he faced his subpoena, he didn't raise any legal arguments. He engaged in a course of deceitful conduct, according to the indictment. That was a clear crime if those allegations are true, and was outrageous. What he did was, according to the indictment, is he took the documents out of storage, led his lawyer to believe that he'd be conducting a full search of the boxes, and then caused his lawyer to file with the court something saying that he had completed a search.
How strong is the special counsel's case on obstruction specifically?
Well, it's very strong because a lot of the evidence comes from his own lawyers. And furthermore, there's evidence of him saying things that are completely incompatible with any idea that this was an innocent document dispute.
Do you believe he lied to the Justice Department?
Do I personally believe it? Yes, I do.
And do you believe that he continues to claim that he has all these privileges and rights under the Presidential Records Act? Is he mischaracterized?
Absolutely. The legal theory by which he gets to take battle plans and sensitive national security information as his personal papers is absurd. It's just as wacky as the legal doctrine they came up with for, having the vice president unilaterally determine who won the election. The whole purpose of the statute, the Presidential Records Act, was to stop presidents from taking official documents out of the White House. It was passed after Watergate. That's the whole purpose of it. And therefore, it restricted what a president can take. It says it's purely private, that had nothing to do with the deliberations of government policy. Obviously, these documents are not purely private. It's obvious. And they're not even now arguing that it's purely private. What they're saying is the president just has sweeping discretion to say they are, even though they squarely don't fall within the definition. It's an absurd argument.
Do you believe if he is convicted, he should serve his prison sentence?
Well, we haven't even gotten to the point of, whether he's been convicted and also what his sentence should be. I don't like the idea of a former president serving time in prison.
Republicans remain critical of the Attorney General who spoke out this week, as well as Director Wray at the FBI. They've rallied to Trump's side. Are they wrong to say that this Justice Department is acting in a political way?
Well, if they're pointing to this case, I think they're wrong. I think the department had no choice but to seek those documents. Their basic argument really isn't to defend his conduct because Trump's conduct is indefensible. What they're really saying is he should get a pass because Hillary Clinton got a pass 6 or 7 years ago. Now, I think, that's not a frivolous argument, but I'm not sure that's true. I think if you want to restore the rule of law and equal justice, you don't do it by further derogating from justice. You do it by applying the right standard here. And that's not unfair to Trump because this is not a case where Trump is innocent and being unfairly held.
That was Billboard. And y'all can watch the rest of this clip, just like I mentioned, on Face the Nation if you want to watch it. But I don't know why Billboard is flipping from that. He flipped to a new lower because now he had a new interview that he is saying something different. But I think on this interview that he had with Face the Nation, he just released a new book. And he thinks he has to say all of that about his former boss. I don't know what he's thinking. Why he was saying all of that. Was that the truth then? Or it was just because he want to sell his book then? Do you know what I mean? Why am I saying this? Y'all take a listen to what Bill Barr is saying now, and let's finish this chit chat on the other side. Take a listen to what he is saying now on CNN. This is new.
I've said this all along. If faced with a choice between two people, neither of which I think should be president, I feel it's my duty to pick the person who I think would do the least damage to the country. And I think Trump would do less damage than Biden. And I think all this stuff about a threat to democracy, I think the real threat to democracy is the progressive movement and the Biden administration.
The Biden administration or President Biden himself?
Biden's support for the progressive agenda.
What you said recently, which was that, the conduct that was involved with Donald Trump, you said trying to subvert and prevent the progress, the execution of probably the most important process we have, which is the peaceful transfer of power after an election. Name one thing that Biden has done that's worse than that.
I think his whole administration is a disaster for the country.
Is worse than subverting the peaceful transfer of power?
Did he succeed?
Only because Vice President Mike Pence stood in the way, and now the people who are lining up to be VP again say that they will not do what Mike Pence did.
Look, I was very loud and saying I thought it was the whole episode was shameful, and I'm very troubled by it, and that's why it's not an easy decision. But I think when you have a Hobson's choice, you have to pick the lesser of two evils.
You don't see this as the definition of putting party over country?
No.
Are you laughing and rolling your eyes like I'm doing right now? Because what did we just hear? What did he just say? Yeah, well, I am just confused by our leaders at this moment. You know what I mean? Because if y'all want to rewind this clip, you can rewind it, what he was saying then. And if y'all listen to this new interview on CNN that Bill Barr gave when he was asked a simple question, what did you think Joe Biden has done? And he just paused. He paused for how many seconds before he could just say something. And yeah, well, if you rewind the clip, when he was talking about his former boss, former President Trump, he was like spilling everything. Yeah, well, this is a new law. I don't know what to believe when Bill Barr comes out to say what he said then and to say what he's saying now. Should we just say because he sees that, what's it called, the poll is favoring Trump? And or do you think that Donald Trump gonna hire him again after he said the first one he said? And after all what he has said, and by the way, Donald Trump came out and he mocked him for even endorsing him. But he said, thank you, by the way. You know what I mean? Like, yo, Bieber, did you say all of that some month ago and you were saying this about me now? Yeah, well, the former boss was looking. He gave it to him already. But let's continue this conversation down in this comment section. What do you guys think? Are you surprised that Bill Barr, from that he said then to what he is saying now, that then don't not forget what I said, that the interview he gave on Face the Nation, he was selling his book. But right now, what do y'all think he is selling right now? Maybe he's trying to look for another position if Donald Trump becomes the president again. Let's continue the conversation down in the comment section. As usual, please let's respect ourselves while we comment. When we have more updates, for sure we are going to bring you guys up to date with it. Are you surprised? Catch up with you guys later. Bye for now.